Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Joined with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Joseph.
Yellow.
And Jehu. Oh, I was expecting something new.
I forgot. I forgot. Next week, I'll start trying new stuff.
There we go. Because, man...
Joey, it's Ant-Man this week, right?
I didn't see Ant-Man.
That's what we're doing. We're doing Ant-Man.
Oh, sorry, bro. Listen, I still haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and I'm not even going to defend myself. I have a very good reason.
No, I totally support your reason. Your reason is like my way of life.
My reason is just that it was my wife's birthday last weekend, and she wanted to do everything that was not see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What is Jehu always said?
Oh, you're always with Sarah, right? Like you.
But I've always had the belief of hoes before bros.
Yep.
You know?
It is one of the things we all know about you.
Yeah. I used all of my babysitter money to do shit for my wife's birthday, and I don't regret that decision. Happy wife, happy life. So instead, still timely, Joseph. Don't fucking get out of here with this bullshit. With the recent release of Mandalorian Season 3, we're going to talk about the other thing we didn't talk about when it was popular 6 months ago, Andor.
And
why didn't we talk about it when it came out, Joseph?
That's a great question, because Joseph didn't watch it. My secondary option for a lead in anticipation of Star Wars' most popular TV show, we're going to talk about Star Wars' best TV show.
Yeah, by a long shot. Andor is a prequel of sorts to Rogue One, where we find Cassian Andor right at the beginning of his journey as a rebel. Really, he's not a rebel in this show.
No.
He's kind of a ruffian. Scoundrel?
Survivor.
And, it's his journey as a hired hand for an early rebellion unit, and it kind of follows him to, by the end of the show, I think we have not the rebel we know in Rogue One, but the beginning of that guy.
Sure.
What did we think of this show, guys? Oh, starring Diego Luna, Stellan Skarsgård, Andy Serkis.
Those are the only people that we remember.
And then, there were people I recognize, but no one else I remember.
Same, yeah. Definitely some people that were on Game of Thrones at some point.
Dude, yeah, that's just Game of Thrones.
I was thinking, for a world or a universe that has just such like a variety, so many different planets, so many different cultures, so many whatever. There's a shit ton of just British guys in suits.
Dude, so much. What'd you guys think of this show?
Okay. I liked this show, but I'm going to start with what I really didn't like about it.
Interesting.
What I really didn't like about it was a lot of the reaction to how good it was, which is just everybody saying, this is what Star Wars should be. And if you think this is what Star Wars should be, maybe you don't really like Star Wars very much.
Interesting.
I know I've referenced this before on the show, but it's hard to get George Lucas to say anything really. But when someone was asking him about the negative reaction to the prequels, one of the things he said is like, well, people just want it to be the Matrix, but it's never going to be that.
I like that George Lucas is Kermit the Frog for you.
Are they not? Do they not have the same fucking voice? But and I think that's this. This has been a great season of Game of Thrones. But I don't... there's totally room for this in Star Wars, but I don't think this is what Star Wars is.
I'm happy we're doing this show.
Me too.
This is a great opinion.
Well, I was actually... I'm going to piggyback. I was going to wait till later, but... I came into this way later than you guys. After everybody that I knew said it was the best show ever, IGN named it the TV show of the year or whatever.
Right.
And so came in at a very high hype level for me.
Right.
And I did really like it, but I don't think it's quite as good as people say it is. That said, I almost agree in that I feel like being a part of Star Wars kind of hinders this show. Like, it would be better to me as just like a great single season of sci-fi that didn't involve like the Empire and all the shit that we're familiar with, because I think that just confuses the issue. It kind of muddles the point.
I can sort of see that. The thing I really did like about this is the first time I really feel like we got to see people living in the Star Wars universe. Of course, we have seen, a youngster on a desert planet longing for more. We've covered that shit like 3 times, but we've not seen really much of how people live under the Empire and stuff like that. So I really liked that a lot.
It is kind of incredible now that you mention it that the absolute best like place setting that feels lived in is like OG A New Hope Star Wars. I feel like just like the desert planet, the cantina, like all that. It feels very lived in, and like it existed before you got to that scene, more than pretty much any other episode of Star Wars that I can think of.
Guys, I fucking love this show.
I mean, I'm definitely not saying it's not great. It's great.
So here's what I'm gonna say. I don't believe this is what Star Wars should be. To your point, I think it is what Star Wars can be, and that's totally fine.
Right.
I think it's totally cool to tell stories in this way, in this space, about these things. I think it's awesome that you're taking things that have like real world implications and inserting them into Star Wars. I'm totally on board for all of that.
Right.
I think Andy Serkis and Stellan Skarsgård give the two best acting performances in a Star Wars thing fucking ever.
Almost certainly.
I was going to wait till we got that in this, but when Andy Serkis shows up and he's so good, you're like, why the fuck haven't they used Andy Serkis for something
and then
big?
You remember.
Then I remember. He's totally in like two of these fucking movies.
But I will say what threw me for a loop, it's really twofold. One is that at the time, I do think it was the best show on TV at the time. The second part of that is that Star Wars TV is so much just like nostalgia hit after nostalgia hit. And it's fine. Like you said, like Star Wars doesn't need to be heavy-handed and political all the time. It can just be people playing with toys.
Right.
However, it was so surreal to experience it be not just that.
Right.
I would be like, listen, it's the best show on TV and I should be really excited about it, but I don't know how to feel about it. And I think this is part of your thing is you didn't watch it while that was going on, but it was kind of a lull for TV shows.
Yeah.
Like it was before the Game of Thrones prequel came out, I think, and it just was like this weird time in TV where it was like, shit, the best thing to watch on right now is fucking Andor.
Right.
And I did not know how to feel about that. And having said that, it's kind of made me doubt the other Star Wars shows a little bit more.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the writing and performances in this make the Obi-Wan show look even more like shit than it already did.
Well, I know you don't like that. I mostly feel that way about The Mandalorian, which is the one that everyone praises. And to me, I'm like, I mean, I did not really enjoy Mandalorian Season 2. And after watching Andor, like, I will never watch any of that shit again. I know that people love the Luke Skywalker bit. That shit don't hit for me. I will watch fucking Stellan Skarsgård be like, I gave up everything.
Yeah.
I am at this point. It's time to recast Luke. I don't want to watch some soulless abomination, you know.
I think it's coming, dude.
Because I don't know. It's just this is a tangent to get off on when we're on the show, but it's like I don't know why we've decided. And if you would have asked me this maybe a year ago, I would have said the same thing. But these characters are so sacred that they can't be recast.
Yeah.
That they took that, you know, the worst thing we ever did was recast Han Solo. I remember, what's her name? What's the chick who runs
Kathleen Kennedy?
Kennedy. She was talking about, I was like, well, what I've learned is you never recast a main character in Star Wars.
You've learned the wrong lesson.
But she said that while she was doing promotion for Obi-Wan.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, that's like, it can be good if you just make it good.
Yeah.
But again, I still like Mandalorian a lot because it's all ages. Because it's kind of simple. Because you can enjoy it if you're 8 or you're 30.
Yeah, and I think that's still valid to it.
You know, if you're 8, you can't enjoy Andor.
No, and it's not for children.
Yeah.
And there's no way an 8-year-old would understand the themes that are going on into that show. What is... Oh, God. The female Empire chick. Denise Gow is the actress, but I can't... Dedra, something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking killer performance.
Yeah.
And there are so many layers to that character that, like, a character in Star Wars really just doesn't need to have. I remember seeing an interview with her when she talked about, like, her mindset, and I think this really shines through in the show, is, like, we talk so much about, like, male gaze and how men fall into, like, the traps of fascism and stuff like that. And she's like, it can happen to women too.
Right.
We just don't talk about it. And then you're having that filter on a character in a fucking Star Wars show?
Yeah.
Star Wars doesn't need that, doesn't deserve that, but I'm real happy you did it.
Well, speaking of her, that reminded me of the Empire guys, and this is something I really liked that probably no one else on Earth cared about. I really liked that they brought back bald people and comb-overs in the Empire, because they're prevalent.
That feels like it
in the first trilogy, and then because in modern times, and no actors are bald anymore, you don't ever see that in the Empire. So I really liked seeing those guys in this. A+ for receding hairlines.
The unsung heroes of this show for me were the scenes of that dude eating cereal to blue milk and his mom just saying how much of a disappointment he was.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And Mon Mothma's husband. That guy was a douche canoe, but God, a character I've never given two shits about in Mon Mothma. You've suddenly made me be like, God, bitch, you're so much better than him.
The thing that I love / hated about him is watching Star Wars. People want to think they're Han Solo and nobody is. People want to think that they're Luke Skywalker, and you are when you're 5. But watching that, I'm like, shit, if I was in Star Wars, I'd be that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I would find a powerful woman and hook my anchor to her and live a life of luxury.
Yep. Did we see the twist with the sisters coming? Because I didn't anticipate that at all. I don't think it added anything.
No, it didn't add anything to the show. I didn't anticipate. I mean, they did have an throwaway line an episode or two earlier about it, but no, I
Game of Thrones bitch.
Yeah.
I mean,
who also she's the waif in Game of Thrones.
The waif. Yeah.
There was something about her in this show that was doing it for me. I think it was because she was small and angry and seemed like she would hate me, but that combination really worked for me.
Yeah. She's the dom to your sub.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But small dom, is that a thing?
I think probably there's a reverse size. This show's about kinks now. In the Star Wars,
isn't every show about kinks now?
That's true. That is very true. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This show's just really fucking good.
What's the name of the incel character, the blue milk guy we were just talking about?
Oh, dude, I don't remember. Let me see.
I never remember his name.
I think that I think that works for him.
Yeah,
because he's such nondescript, angry white guy.
Cyril?
Yeah,
Cyril?
I really don't know where they're going with that character, but I think the whole end game of this show has to be that guy.
I mean, we're in spoilers. We didn't really do better or worse than Transformers, but it's better than Transformers. But yeah, it was spoilers for earlier already. But I feel like it's kind of implied at the end of this that him and the D-Droid chick are starting to thing. Did I read that wrong?
I got that. I think he's absolutely in love with her.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. That also is, I feel like, one of the most realistic parts of this universe is that, this woman that is intelligent and high achieving and good at her job and whatever is going to end up with just some random guy who thinks he's somebody and isn't. And is at worst, possibly a dangerous stalker.
Right.
Oh, man. That's so true. I read this story, and we can cut this out, but you reminded me of this. I read this story recently of this female reporter. She was at a dinner party. She was introducing her husband to these people, at the party. And some of them are kind of influential.
Right.
And he is the general manager of a Nike store or something like that.
Right.
But he loves aircraft, and he spent thousands of dollars on flight simulators and all sorts of stuff. And she goes to introduce him, and she goes, "This is my husband. He manages a Nike store. Totally fine." He's like, "Silly woman, I'm a pilot." And that's 100% that dude and her.
This character.
Yeah. Both of them are phenomenal.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
All around, the cast is they just acting their butt off.
Man, is this the first droid we've ever been introduced to that needed Zoloft? He's so depressed.
I mean, C-3PO, but yeah.
Oh yeah. His name is B2 Emo.
I didn't catch that.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then, Harry Potter's aunt, really great in it. Mm-hmm. I'm really glad they cut out the fuck, because I don't think Star Wars needs a fuck in it. You guys know this, right?
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, her rant at the end after she dies, in the the hologram, she says fuck, I don't know what, but fucking something.
Yeah.
And that doesn't need to be in Star Wars.
That's fine, yeah.
I've said on before, hard for me to forgive Picard after someone cussed at Jean-Luc. I would not do well with it cussing in Star Wars.
That reminds me of another problem I have, not only with this show, but the Star Wars Disney shows in general. I don't like that they've confirmed the existence of toilets in the Star Wars universe.
You thought people didn't shit?
I always like to think that we're not entirely sure they're exactly like us. Maybe dudes don't have penises. Maybe chicks have 2 penises. We don't know.
That's a good
I
point.
liked not knowing that.
There's a lot of different races. You still could not be wrong.
That's true.
Yeah. You got anything?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no plan.
That's okay.
Well, I figure we could do like the sections of it.
I haven't watched it in so long. I don't remember.
Well, so I would say...
Joseph, you just watched
I did. I would say that it's kind of broken up into 4 sections.
I was going to say
that's
4
correct.
sections.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So there's kind of the intro. We meet Cassian. He's not really involved in anything, but he gets himself into trouble.
We find out he's grubby.
Yeah. Which side note before I finish this thought, you'd think that this show being good would make me like Rogue One more, but it just makes me more fucking angry. And they just took this really great character and a great actor who's crushing it and just killed him off for no reason.
Every time I tried to watch this with Sarah, she would basically be like, yeah, this is cool, but he fucking dies at the end.
Yeah.
She's like had no interest because of that.
Anyway.
And I wonder if there's more people like that.
Yeah.
I wonder that it's like,
it takes some of the dramatic tension out of it, but anyway. So like the first bit gets into trouble, first heist, prison break, and then finale, functionally.
Yeah. I didn't love the first bit.
Yeah.
It's a little slow.
Right.
It's really dry. And I think the whole show is dry and slow, but I'm not invested enough in anything at that point to love it.
Here's my real question is, I know this is an unfair form of criticism, but let's just pretend we take out the heist bit. We take out the prison break stuff, which is essentially just another heist with higher stakes.
Right.
Is the show good?
Well, I don't think you can do that.
I told you. I said up front it was unfair.
Let me remove half of what this show is about. I'll give you the scraps. Cassian's trying to save a girl he fucked. Is it good?
I will say that I didn't really love it till the prison break. The heist is just like, well, we already did this, in the future. We've already done that, so I don't really care about that much. I like the heist crew to a degree. You knew
they're all dead by the end of it.
Yeah.
Also a little racist that they killed the 2 black guys first. Space racism. Yeah.
You knew the fucking guy who I don't know, the one who's like handsome ugly. He was on Girls. You knew he was gonna betray.
Yeah. We could tell from the very early on.
Right. Just as soon as you met him, it's like, oh, that's the guy who's here to betray them.
There's a lot of side notes I'm prepared to take here. But so that guy to me, I was sure was the same guy from The Bear, but it's not. You guys know that
I know the show.
Yeah, the show. I don't think any of us watch it. But I was sure it was the same guy, so I looked it up. But he's on The Bear, but it doesn't look like he's playing that same guy's brother. And that seems wild to me, because they have the same face to me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the heist stuff. I would say it's where I was at my slowest, because I did fall behind on this show, and I didn't... It felt like the worst parts of Dragon Ball Z, in that it takes forever to get to the shit is coming.
Right.
It's 2 episodes of prep for the heist when it could have been 30 minutes.
You are probably the first person to compare this show to Dragon Ball Z.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Now, having said that, I thought the heist is a killer episode. I think
the heist itself is great.
Yeah.
The prep for the heist doesn't do much for me.
Yeah. And I get that you have to do that stuff because that's really the birth of like the rebellion in Cassian. But I really believe the last 6 are great. That prison break, those 3 episodes are killer.
The prison break is so fucking good. First of all,
that could have been its own movie.
Another thing about with George Lucas, I bet they really thought he's going to be flattered when he sees they did such a tribute to THX 1138.
Yeah.
But I bet when he saw it, he just hated it.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, he is pretentious enough that he puts it in all of his own movies already.
Yeah, but that's not saying, I don't know. I don't think that really mixes. That's a little heavy for Star Wars.
Did we know it was the Death Star?
Yeah, well, as soon as
very
you saw them
clearly,
building those things, like,
Yeah.
oh, those are going in the Death Stars. He's building the things that's going to kill him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm supposed to think this is dramatic,
Yeah.
but it feels tropey
Yeah.
and dumb right now.
So, they do the prison break is great, particularly Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is such that character, such that bridge over the River Kwai sort of like the guy who just gets too into it and can't let it go. But when he does let it go, it's great. And do we think he made it?
Yes, I think he does.
I like to think he actually is Snoke.
No, I think he is Snoke.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think the same thing.
Yeah, I think he's Snoke, and he's pissed off that Cassian Andor left him. That's what turns him evil.
Oh, I think he's still a clone, but I do still think that guy... Listen, I get that you may have just casted him because you're like, this dude can deliver these lines.
I mean, he's fucking great.
He's fucking great. But you can't, somewhere in your brain can't be like, we can make it the same.
And even if you think there's no chance we ever do that, there's too many dudes like us with podcasts who are doing it for him.
That's correct.
Having said that, to your point, fucking Dave Filoni, if he was not who he was, would be us.
Right.
And because he is who he is, he's already thought about it.
Right.
I'm positive.
Right.
Yeah, and then Stellan Skarsgård. Does he give the speech on the bridge? Or is that the same episode as the Prison Break?
It might be.
I think
It might be the B plot.
It's what they go to. I remember this because I was like, oh, some shit must be about to go down. Because it's the scene they go to right after they dive over.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so you get the Andy Serkis fucking 2-minute monologue, and then 10 minutes later, you get his 7-minute, and it's, again, just the best 9 minutes in Star Wars ever.
Because you think at that, when you see him and he's all in the black robes and shit, it's like, oh, this dude's about to turn heel. And then
I certainly thought he was going to kill that guy.
yeah, and then you realize, oh no, he's not turning heel. He's just already a dude just doing a lot of bad things to try to make something good. He turned heel years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's his whole, it reminds me... Well, I'm going to backtrack just a second. In episode 1 or 2, when it ends with him, putting the wig on and then getting in character, great moment.
Yeah.
Great moment.
Yeah.
But it's kind of this, Moses archetype of, I'm trying to build a world I'll never see.
Right.
And, for a property that has so many people that kind of ride this morally gray line. I mean, Star Wars is these people are ultimately good, right? But people love Han Solo because he's a scoundrel.
Right.
Cassian's clearly the favorite character from Rogue One.
Yeah.
Because he's more the scoundrel, but he's trying to do good.
Right.
And I want to be clear, one of the things that makes him more of the scoundrel in Rogue One and in this show is that he cares more.
Yes.
As opposed to Han Solo's whole thing is, I'm not attached to anybody. I can just bail at any moment when I want. Cassian's whole thing is, no, I have people and things that I care about, and I'm not going to abandon those things.
It's surprising we haven't gotten a character like that earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a character that would have done really well in the prequel trilogy.
I mean, the prequels kind of needed that.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we have finally the end, which is the saving the girl. Cassian's all in. His mom dies.
Right. Great. You already referenced it, but the hologram speech, great.
The whole bit, the parade leading up to it.
I was going to say, what's bad? The Ferrex funeral band.
Yeah.
Not doing it for me.
I know they have a lot of practice time.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Trumpets are such a big part of Star Wars on this side of the fourth wall. It was kind of nice to hear some in-universe.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it felt so real, too, of what we've seen of, a peaceful protest turning violent by the presence of sword and shield, and the Empire standing there with guns and shields, and these people are walking through the streets, and then all hell breaks. I don't know. It felt very real. It's a great bit. It's a great bit.
I know it is funny when you're doing sci-fi. The whole point of sci-fi, I feel like, and not always, but a lot of times is exaggerated social commentary.
Yeah,
right?
no, totally.
And Star Wars really hasn't done that. I mean, that's a lie.
It's not its main line.
It's not the prequels are heavy-handed.
Sure.
It's not as inherent to what it does as it is to Star Trek.
Right.
The bad guys are literally called stormtroopers.
Yeah. But yeah, it cracks me up when like sci-fi dystopias like can't make it look worse than real life.
Mm-hmm.
There's the bit where what's his name, Cyrus, whatever, the blue milk guy, is getting his job at like the corporate nothing job, and they're like walking through these tens of hundreds of aisles of these little octagon cubicle things until they find the one empty one, and that's where he goes and looks at screens 2 hours a day. And I'm just like, fuck, if I worked in Navy Fair, I would love that much space. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be fucking fantastic.
Right.
I mean, this is kind of a niche thing. All I could think about in that moment was like, did the person who made JJ's Star Trek movie watch this? Because that's the fucking Vulcan science school. It's the same fucking thing.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm really excited for season 2. I hate that we're probably going to have to wait like another year and a half before it comes out. And I love that this exists. I don't need all of Star Wars to be like this. Yeah. I'm okay with this just being.
I think having something like this, not just this, but if they want to do more shows like this, the Star Wars section of Disney seems to have a bad habit of seeing this one thing happen
and reacting to it.
I hope that the positive reaction from this doesn't mean, we just didn't make Star Wars for 40-year-old dudes. How about let's not?
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, look, I hope the next season doesn't force me to listen to a total hour of Mon Mothma making small talk at parties, but
I thought it was awesome.
I love that part. Yeah. I tell you what, Mon Mothma must have the most nondescript face of all time, because any recast they do of her, I accept.
I think that's the same chick, is it not?
Is it not? Is it the same chick from the prequels? Oh, maybe it is.
I think it is.
Okay.
I could be way wrong. And all semi-tall white women look the same to me. Having said that, fucking ecstatic to go back to Coruscant. I don't understand why we don't go back there more
I don't
often.
understand why we don't either. I don't understand why we're always either in the sand, in the jungle, or in the ice. Like, let's see something. I mean, that was George Lucas's big complaint about the sequels, is they didn't visit enough like new places, and I liked that we saw new places in this.
Yeah,
I do also. I think they do a pretty good job of like different worlds in this one, even though they spend a lot on Ferrix and Coruscant. Right. But we haven't talked about the music, but the music for the show is also quite good. Is it a blatant Blade Runner ripoff? Fuck yeah, but I'm okay with it.
I was gonna say, is it a blatant Tron ripoff, or whatever the new Tron was called? But same thing.
Yeah, no, the music is good in it. I don't have anything else, guys. I like this show, and it came out with such a It came out in Tales of the Jedi, which I don't know if you were iffy.
I finished it.
Tales of, just back to back, just fucking killer Star Wars shit.
Yeah, Tales of the Jedi was awesome.
And now we have Mandalorian, and listen, it's okay.
It's probably going to be fine.
Did you watch the first episode?
No, I haven't watched the first episode.
Did you watch the first episode?
Haven't.
I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, it's out.
It came out yesterday. Day before yesterday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Look at that.
I won't say anything.
Okay. Well, then I think that's probably it for Andor. Yeah, second season sometime on the way, but not in the near future.
Probably 2024, yeah.
But if you haven't watched it yet, watch it.
Yeah, it's good. It really
better than
good.
Transformers.
Better than Transformers.
Definitely better than Transformers.
What have we been watching the past week or two, guys?
I rewatched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. And yeah, I mean, I feel very similarly as I felt the first time I watched it, which is, that movie's not as good as Black Panther 1, but that movie is fine. I think generally, I've said this before, and maybe I said it on the podcast. I know I've said it to you too. I think people misremember the quality of Marvel movies every time they watch a new Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There are so many of those first 3 phase Marvel movies that I have watched once or twice and probably will never watch again.
Right.
And that really hasn't changed since Endgame. They weren't batting 1,000.
Right.
And I have watched everything. I saw Love and Thunder twice. I've seen every Phase 4 movie that released in theaters twice. And I generally feel the same about them the second time I watched them as I did the first time, which is they're fine.
Right.
Everything still hits. The emotional moments hit. I think they had an impossible challenge, and I don't think with that challenge they could have made a great movie. I don't think that was actually possible.
Right.
I think they made as good of a movie as they probably could have made with the circumstances they were given. And if you haven't seen it, it's worth it. I told Joseph before we started, I've been watching a lot of The Problem with Jon Stewart, and you know what? I didn't really watch it when the first season came out a couple years ago because I really needed to detox after 2020 of all the stuff. But like Jon Stewart is like the syringe for me and what's going on in the world, and that he can give it to me in a way that I can like it, I can accept it, I can process it, and it not like devastate me emotionally. So just happy that dude's back.
Did you watch have you seen the interview where he's interviewing the lady who's banned the treatment on trans kids?
Yes.
It is so just like she so thinks she's going to weasel her way out of it.
Yeah,
and he's just like, he's never rude. He never raises her voice. Yep. He just boxes her in, and she's like you can just see her squirming, man. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, he the new one now. The episode that just came out. He does an interview with a state representative from Arkansas on gun control, and he just obliterates him. He obliterates him. I did feel a little like you got a state representative from Arkansas, get like Dan Crenshaw or something, like someone in the actual House of Representatives. But still, just totally demonstrably kills him. But. Again, just happy that dude's back doing stuff.
Get somebody like Josh Holler and Matt Gaetz, because those guys think they can take him.
Yeah. That's it.
On the subject of The Daily Show, since Trevor Noah left, have you guys watched any of the guest hosts?
I've watched clips.
Dude, Chelsea Handler killed. She was awesome on it. And, Sarah Silverman, pretty good, too. Definitely the girls are doing better than the dudes so far.
I want to pause on that note. We were talking beforehand how we can't stand Bill Maher. Sarah Silverman is quickly becoming the Bill Maher with a vagina. I don't know if you guys have listened to her lately, but I don't think she's that far off. And that's why I watched some of the Chelsea Handler one. I watched some of the D.L. Hughley one as well. And I don't think it was a great format for him.
Right. D.L. was always my least favorite of the Kings.
Yeah.
I like him even less than Cedric A. Entertainer.
Yeah. I just can't do Sarah Silverman anymore.
See, I thought she was real good on this.
Yeah.
But is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh man. No. I didn't mean that. Like, is it my turn? We started talking about the same thing, and I got confused if I was cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Oh boy, guys. This one, I've got something I really want to talk about, and I really want to get everything in. And you know how that can sometimes turn out for me.
That's fine. Should I get popcorn?
You may want to get a drink. Okay, so first of all, have I explained to you guys the thing I call train theory?
I don't think so.
Probably not. Just go ahead.
Basically, the short version is this. Say your mom or your dad in like the 70s or 80s was cool as hell. And, they went to see the Rolling Stones in concert. They loved ZZ Top. They loved Thin Lizzy. And now their favorite band is Train. How does that happen? How does somebody who used to think Tom Petty was the best now think Train is the best?
Have you met people who think Train is
100%.
the best? Yeah, they just love Soul Sister. Like, they're just bopping it in the car.
I'm talking about someone actually specifically when I talk about this, but I'm not going to bring it up.
I hope they listen to this.
They do, but I'm talking about their mom, and no one wants them to name drop that you're just talking shit about their mom on the podcast. So I think what happens is in a point of aging, you lose the ability to discern cool, like recognize what cool is.
I'm already there.
And
You've been there. You live there.
I know.
Yeah.
And you start just liking things that are familiar. Train is not cool like Tom Petty is, but Train is familiar. It's the same sort of chordy rock and stuff like that. So around 2019, I had decided I had reached that point in my life. Someone handed me a band, and it had all the characteristics of a lot of bands I love, like Dinosaur Jr., Superchunk, Guided by Voices. But I could not tell, is this cool or is it familiar? Mm-hmm. And, not all music has to be cool. Country doesn't have to be cool. R&B really doesn't have to be cool. Jazz, which I think the term cool was invented for, still doesn't always have to be cool. But rock and roll and rap really have to have that X factor. They have to be cool. And it's...
The line between cool and cheesy is so thin in those genres.
Right, exactly. And it's hard to define. Mm-hmm. Like, Van Halen's Jump, a keyboard song by a rock and roll band, is cool. Van Halen's Right Now, a keyboard song by a rock and roll band, is not cool. I can't explain to you why it's not, but I could play them both for you and you'd be like, yeah, you're right. So I'd kind of given up on taking in new bands, which was fine because, honestly, bands I like are still putting out music, and there's a lot of stuff that I already knew was cool that I hadn't fully explored. In my main years of voraciously consuming pop culture, it was more, indie rock, punk rocks, but I always liked rap and metal and things like that. So now I've been exploring more of that stuff soon. So fast forward to, I don't know, maybe it was a few months ago.
What was the band in 2019?
I don't know what the band... I can't remember what that band was.
I've been hanging on to this since you said it.
So have you guys heard of or seen, because those can be two different experiences, a band called Ghost?
No.
Okay. So I was exposed to this band a few months ago just through them coming up on YouTube. I think because I watch a bunch of Justin Hawkins stuff and he had reviewed some of their shit. And it was really a case of I could not decide if this was cool or not. Because if you take a look... First, let me just explain what they look like. The singer is sort of a satanic pope. He wears robes. He has the big hat. He wears a rubber mask, but then over the rubber mask has skull face paint.
Okay.
And the band is just a series of guys all wearing the same outfit and mask. And the masks sort of look like a cross between Mad Max and a Death Eater. So when I explain that to you, you're probably going to think, man, that sounds heavy. That's going to be heavy as fuck. It sounds like it's going to sound like Slipknot or some shit like that.
Which, to be fair, based on the pictures I had always seen of Slipknot, I assumed that their music was heavy as shit. And then I listened to it, it's... heavier than standard rock.
Right,
but it's not the craziest shit I've ever listened to.
No.
Well, actually, when I saw them, I immediately thought they're going to sound like Rammstein. They're going to have that same... They seem to have that same theatrical element. It seems to be very dark like Rammstein is. This is going to sound like Rammstein. And when I listened to it, it was almost like...
acoustic folk.
No, almost like 80s hair metal without the hair. Like Sunset Strip pop.
Motley Crue.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Stuff like that. So I could not decide if that was cool. It was just too confusing to me. So later I encountered another one of their songs. I remember this one was Call Me Little Sunshine, which is a little heavier. It sounded a little like AC/DC's Hell's Bells, but still not as heavy as they looked.
Yeah.
And I couldn't decide if this was cool. So then Sarah enters the equation. And Sarah... I know can still discern cool. Now, how can I know that if I can't discern cool? If I can't discern cool, how can I tell whether or not you know what's cool, right? How I know this is because Sarah rejected 90s jeans. The kids are bringing back 90s jeans.
Yes.
And, Sarah does some of the trends that the kids are bringing. Sarah's always been fashionable.
She won't do mom jeans.
Well, she tried. She tried the 90s jeans. And here's the thing. The kids should always be doing stuff that's annoying someone as old as me. And what they're doing should always annoy me. That's how it works. If it doesn't happen...
Well, that's your measure of cool.
Right. We're not doing our job. Both sides aren't doing our job.
Uh-huh.
But that doesn't mean there isn't certain wisdom that they can take from us who lived through it. And in the 90s, we were fucking wrong about jeans. The 90s, we did so much shit right. But our taste in jeans were fucking awful. If I had a time machine, the first thing I would do would go back in time the day before Kurt Cobain blew his brains out and say, Kurt, my man, if you just hang in 6 or 8 more years, your jeans are going to fit you so fucking good, man. You're going to look so fucking cool in your Audis dream. And I think we'd be on our 13th fucking Nirvana record. I really do. Anyway, So Sarah, I don't know if I told you this, but Sarah changed jobs. So she has a job where she drives around a lot now. She works in insurance. She has to drive all the way out to Niceville, all the way in shit. So she's been listening to a lot of radio. Also, a thing about Sarah, one of her top jams is Enter Sandman. She fucking loves Enter Sandman. If Sarah was a truck driver, her call sign would be Sandman. If I was a truck driver, my call sign would be Rooster because of how much I love Alice in Chains' The Rooster. If you ever see me and Sarah walking down the street, I'm like, hey, there goes Sandman and the Rooster holding hands. But anyways, Sarah gets home and she was like, hey, have you heard of this band called Ghost? And I was like, yes, I have. And I think I'm interested in it, but I can't tell if it's cool. And she had heard their cover of Enter Sandman on Metallica's Blacklist.
Yep.
And she played it for me. And I was like, I do think this is fucking awesome. So then we went through this weekend of all we did was look up shit about Ghost. Like listening to Ghost music. And there's more to Ghost than that because there's this whole fucking lore behind them. Basically, there's been 5 singers to a Ghost who are all actually the same guy. But they're these popes called Papa Emeritus 1 through 4. The first Papa Emeritus, not a lot known about him. He was them when they were like a underground band. Second Papa Emeritus, the first one that got a video, a little bit more known about him. He's sort of the sexy Papa. Third Papa is he's the one who looks most like he could be in My Chemical Romance. He was kind of the more handsome but angrier one. And then the fourth one, the one they've spent the most time. I should say this also. When they killed off Papa 3 on stage, they then introduced Papa Nilo, Papa Zero, who was the first Papa who did one single in the 60s. Like, you can just tell I love this shit, right? This is just, I love how, this is one of those things that you could totally just experience for what it is, or you could just go down rabbit holes about it all day. So, the most recent Papa first is introduced as Cardinal Copius, and he later becomes Papa 4. Definitely, if you don't like occult shit in your heavy music, this is not for you. But I always think we take that shit too seriously. Like, we don't really think Johnny Cash shot a man in Reno to watch him die. Eazy-E talked a whole bunch about kicking people's ass, but he's like 4 foot fucking tall. He never kicked anybody's ass. He could probably kick my ass, but that's about it. So, and it really seems like these guys are having a go at it. The first record, the Satanism thing, seems like, oh, maybe they're taking this seriously. But by the third record, it's like, oh, this is a gag. This is just their bit. But yeah, so basically in a weekend's time, we decided we fucking love this band. And we went from not listening to them to owning all their music, owning merch, and having tickets to 2 shows.
Wow.
Actually, we bought tickets to one show, and we were like, we just bought some like regular seats, right? And then as we listened to it more over the weekend, it's like, we should have bought better seats. So then we went back and bought like expensive seats for another show. We're off the rails on this shit. So,
cool or not cool, Jehu?
Well, not only is it cool, but I remembered something about my band, myself. A different theory I had. The theory was, I'm in the fucking band. Mm-hmm. And that theory was always, you don't tell me what's cool, I tell you what's cool, because I'm in the fucking band. So I think I've got my mojo back.
All right.
I think I can discern cool again. I'm happy. And I should say also, one of the things that I thought was really cool about this experience with this band is when you're younger and you're getting into a band or something, it very much becomes part of your identity. And as you get, even as you get in your 20s, you start losing that. It's just like, oh, this is just something cool I heard. But this really became like, over the weekend, being a Ghost fan became a lot of my identity. So definitely Ghost better than Transformers. Check them out. I would say check out their videos because their music videos are fucking awesome. Do you know how disposable music videos are now?
I'm a big fan. I'm a firm believer that music videos are the last true art form on planet Earth because they're made for no one.
Right.
Yeah, there's no reason to do it other than yourself.
Exactly.
Something you want to say.
Here's what I'll say, and you'll have to edit this, so you can take notes on this later.
Okay.
You check out their Spillways video. You should check out their Rats video. That's my personal favorite song of theirs. Instead of the video, you should check out the live performance off Jimmy Kimmel of Call Me a Little Sunshine. And you should check off Kiss the Go-Go Goat and Mary on the Cross. Those two were on a record called 7 Inches of Satanic Panic, which I think is the best title for anything.
It's a pretty good name. It's a pretty good title.
So anyways, yeah, I love Ghost. That's my thing.
If you're not wearing a Ghost t-shirt the next time that we record, I'm going to be so fucking disappointed in you.
I will probably be wearing a Ghost t-shirt the next time we record, so you don't have to worry about it.
Very good. Well, shit, I don't even know if there's any oxygen left in the room for me to talk about my shit, but I don't have a lot anyway. Started rewatching Attack on Titan because Attack on Titan's coming back again, like now, I think.
Yeah.
For the final season.
Part 1. Part 3, Part 1.
We'll see. And then the only other thing I wanted to talk about or mention is Mark Maron's got a new special on HBO Max,
right?
Called From Dark to Bleak, I think. Mm-hmm. And you know, I haven't super been into like stand up recently. The most recent thing that I watched was the Nate Bargatze,
right?
Which I mean that's a hoot and a half. Like you're just like, it's like a laugh a minute sort of special. You know, that's not really Mark Maron's thing. Right. it's a very different brand of comedy. And I mean, there are bits that are funny, there are bits that are insightful, and there are bits that are just like true. You know,
right?
There's a fair bit of it that he talks about. You know, it was his partner died, I guess, a couple years ago during COVID, and you know, just kind of dealing with that and how to turn that into comedy, which. You know, Patton Oswalt also did,
right?
Coincidentally, within the last couple of years, but I like Mark Maron a little better. Right. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like I've never gotten into his podcast, but I can see how you can because you just feel like you're hanging out with him.
Right.
He doesn't seem stressed about being on stage. It doesn't seem like a big to do. He's just like there telling you some stuff.
Right.
And I generally think he's got a different style than anybody else right now. So Mark Maron, better than Transformers on HBO Max. And then I think that's it.
Cool.
What do we want to do next week? Is it Ant-Man?
Maybe I can find.
Do we have a backup in case it's not Ant-Man?
We don't, but we can find something.
I'm sure we can find something to talk about.
There might be another movie out, like Cocaine Bear or something. I mean, I could make time to see.
I was about to say Creed 3.
Creed 3
came out this week, right?
Yeah, came out today.
Creed 3 would be harder for me because I would still have to watch Creed 2.
I still have to watch Creed 2 too, but I'm going to do
Creed 2.
As long as someone else has to suffer as much as me.
Creed 2.2. Yeah.
Remix. Yeah, all right. So next week, Creed or Ant-Man or something. Who knows? But thank you for listening. Please rate and subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. If you have any thoughts about your favorite Star Wars shows, if we have maligned The Mandalorian and it's your favorite fucking thing, let us know. You're probably wrong, but let us know anyway. Thank you to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for the theme. We'll see you guys next week. I feel like I skipped some stuff. It doesn't matter. See you guys next week.
Said.
Nobody listens to this part.
Realphonies@gmail.com. Yeah. Bye.